safety cockpits in these boats. They've got harnesses, they've got air supply. The open cockpit boats, they all wear jackets, helmets, they've all got all the safety gear, and the boats get gone through in scrutineering and made sure they're really safe. But the biggest factor in the safety in this sport, these guys right here. This is Race Day Medical, Dave and Anna Bodner. They do most of the powerboat racing throughout Victoria, and they do an amazing job. Dave's had to deal with some really big crashes lately, and he's done an amazing job. And there's probably some people that are here this weekend that may not have been, had it not been for Race Day Medical, Dave Bodner and Anna and their team. They do a great job. Just think about them when you're watching those boats go around. They're out there doing the job, and that's why all these teams out here feel really safe. Well, pretty exciting bloke back in the championship in the big orange turn boy here. Simon, how was your day yesterday, please?
Yeah, it was eventful. It certainly didn't start out how I envisaged. Everything went good, and the boat's been in mothballs for 3 years, so we certainly got a little bit caught out with a couple of little things. We had a fuel issue where we took off and didn't turn the fuel pumps on, and both engines cut out simultaneously, and then one would start and we could not get the other one to prime the fuel system, so it wouldn't start. Come back and made some repairs, bled the fuel system, and then yeah, we got a few laps down. Look, we were just staying out of everyone's way and making sure that the boat was doing everything it was meant to do. It feels like a really nice boat. So it was a good little opportunity for me to have a shakedown in the boat, because I've never been in that boat. So yeah, so I was really impressed with how it drives. Yeah, hopefully we can start off and make a few inroads into catching Acme, and maybe not 222, but we'll have a go, see how we go.
Well, mate, I mean, you haven't been in a boat for a couple of years, but Mark hasn't been in for a very long time, so I guess coaxing him through as well. Yeah,
it was certainly a bit of training or just a bit of confidence building going on in the cockpit. I was trying to work it out myself last night, and I reckon Mark wouldn't have raced since 2015, so yeah, I reckon it'd be 10 years.
Yeah, it's a long time to be out of a boat, especially these sorts of things. And the other thing too with offshore racing, we won't go too long, mate, because we're getting rained on here, but the synergy between the driver and throttle man is absolutely critical in these things.
Yeah, it certainly is. But we just had a really good conversation, really, just going around explaining discussing the track and our tactics if we were going a little bit faster and stuff like that. So it was probably not such a bad outcome yesterday, to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, you sort of came out and the pressure was off, I suppose. Once you came back out, you could just go and do what you wanted to do, stay out of everyone's way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it was a good opportunity to look at the track and also look at the other boats as well.
All right, mate, we'll get out of this rain. Good luck today. You've got 2 races today, so a little bit more gelling in the boat, hopefully.
Thanks, Dave. Looking forward to it.
Racing, we got the 2 Supercat Extreme and Supercat Outboard races, and then we've got our sports classes races as well. We've got 1 for those guys today. Going to be exciting stuff. Stick around, folks. The conditions look absolutely, well, grey and gloomy, but still very smooth. Water, a very slight wind chop on it, although we're getting a lot of gusts coming through as well. So it should be pretty exciting racing out here today. We've got a lot going on. Spoke to the boys at Global Racing this morning. You will have seen an interview just for those of you watching at home with Simon Isherwood. They've had and got some issues with that boat, but it's a boat that's been in mothballs for quite a number of years now, so exciting to see the boat back out on the water. That'll only get stronger and stronger. I spoke to Mark this morning. They're just going to go around and circulate today. but the Acme Racing machine should be trying to push Boost Triple Two along as well. But the real action will be in the outboards, I feel. The boys from the Sting a little bit disappointed. They had a hook in turn number 1 yesterday, and that basically cost them the race. They just couldn't make up the ground after that, so they're very keen. Mantis has gone 5 points up in the championship after yesterday's race, so the Sting are going to be pushing very hard to try and get the job done here today. And we're on air now as well for everybody on site. Good morning, welcome everybody here. It's not many of us here, is there? But anyway, we're going to have a good day at the bow races. Everyone on site here at beautiful Corio Bay, Geelong for the Hornet Property Services. Round number 3, day number 2 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships. The boats that are down in the milling area, folks, are the Supercat Extreme category boats and also the Supercat outboard boats. Boats that we're looking for will be the Boost Mobile with Darren Nicholson and Peter Muddy McGrath, Andrew Sill and Tom Barry Connor in the Acme Racing, and then the Global Racing with Mark Gilbert and my man Simon Jeffrey Isherwood III in that particular boat. Then we've got the Supercat outboard category Mantis with Anthony Defina, Matt Kelly, Mickey Ratcliffe and Carl Wall in the Sting. TCR Racing did a great job yesterday with Scotty Richardson and Steve Kelly. And DLR Offshore, Steve Lancaster and Craig Dove. They had a great run yesterday also. A little bit underpowered in the tin boat, as too was TCR, but TCR looked very, very good. So picking the boats up now, start boat starting to pick up the crew as we see the milling, the Sting milling down there, and they'll get picked up. Boats now starting to lift themselves up onto the plane. The Boost Mobile on the inside there, Acme Racing to the outside. Trying to pick up Global Racing is out the back with the Supercat outboard boats at the moment. They won't be trying to charge the lead for the lead or anything like that, so they're just going to try and have a nice consistent run here today. Got a couple of issues with that boat. The trim is out on it actually. One of the trim gauges is out, so unfortunately Mark not able to know where that starboard drive is trimmed, which is a little bit tricky in these boats. Also has a small crack in one of the gearbox housings that they're a little bit concerned about, so they won't be pushing that boat along too hard, and we pick it up now. The Global Racing as we bring the boats down through on the parade lap now. That beautiful white pointer with the lazy 900 horsepower slung from the transom of a pair of V8 450 Mercury Racing engines on the back of our start boat, so we've got no problems with the start boat trying to keep up here today. So we bring them down for Hornet Property Services. This is going to come down into the Motec front straight away. Got some other wonderful sponsors on here this weekend as well. We've got Gotta Love Fishing Charters, a massive shout out to those guys, and also Casa Expresso. Supercat outboard boats, the Sting, TCR and DLR on the outside, and rounding up behind them, but on pole position by the looks of things here, the Mantis, the Oz 1 machine. They had a pretty wild time of it yesterday. The Sting in the first corner had a bit of a hook and actually came across in front of them. An unintentional move there from the Sting, but unfortunately it meant well, Mantis had to back out and take evasive action, but then they managed to get around and take the win. So the championship has got basically one win in it. 5 points the difference between the Sting and Mantis. So whoever wins this one either goes ahead in the championship or levels the championship up. They've got 2 races here today, these guys. So this is the real championship day for these boats. So boats will head up into the milling area now in this parade lap, and then we'll see the race starting proper. So our 3 Supercat Extreme boats, we've got 2 of them gunnel to gunnel lined up, which is the Boost 222, Boost Mobile 222, and on the outside of them the Acme Racing, Global Racing, 1 out and 1 back, and then our fleet of outboard boats then again in behind them. So great to have Mark Gilbert and Simon Isherwood back in the sport of offshore powerboat racing. Both of them been around a very, very long time in this sport. On board there with the Sting at the moment, and Carl Wall there on the throttles, and Mickey Radcliffe doing steering duties in that particular boat. For Hornet Property Services, so they head up through the top turn, and we'll bring them down to Hornet Property Services, start, shoot. Okay, here we go, jostling for position now. We're about to have a start. White flag up on the start boat. Watching for it to drop. Boost 222 on pole. Bang, flag drops. We're racing in round number 3. Race number 2 for these guys of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships, brought to you by Hornet Property Services. And a good start there for the Acme Racing as Andrew Searle and Tom Barricotta lead on that boat super hard. And they actually run down into turn number 1. Gunnel to gunnel with the Boost Mobile. Nicholson in the car. Outside stuff now as they go down the Motec front straight away. Global Racing got a good start today, as opposed to yesterday where they had fuel issues. So Isherwood and Gilbert still getting the feel for that boat. Here we go, here it is. This is where the action's going to be. Mantis and Sting. Sting runs very wide out of turn number 1 into Motec Straight. The Sting actually makes a little bit of ground, maintaining some momentum out there. Mantis hard on the pins. This is going to be the race. Down through the bottom turn, and the Mantis and the Sting. Mantis gets a little bit of a break there as they run that inside line out of turn number 2. DLR on the inside doing a fantastic job as well. And TCR just in front of DLR, so there's really nothing into any of this at the moment. Down the short straight up into the MSC Signs dog leg, which is where Boost have just gone through, and Acme Racing, so they're up through the top turn now as we watch our Supercat outboard boats there go through the MSC Signs dog leg, picking up Boost Mobile as it comes down the back chute. Now we're looking at the MSC Signs dog leg, and it is the Sting just poking its nose ahead of Mantis at the moment. Have a look at this as they go past Global Racing. This is how hard these outboard boats are charging at the moment. Mantis having a look up the inside. Oh, that's a bold move there from the Mantis, forcing the Sting to the outside. So Andy DeFeer and Matt Kelly trying to do everything they can here to try and negate this as a Boost Mobile 222. Tips down into the Motec straight away. Pushing hard. Going on board there with the Sting as we see from our commentary position, Acme Racing. They have a look at the inside. They drop to the inside of Triple Two's watch. Not going to do them any favours at the moment. They're not close enough to get anything done there. Looking on board now with the Sting as well, and Carl Wall, his hand is on that throttle, and it is hard on the stoppers. Mickey Radcliffe doing it beautifully. They are about a boat length behind Mantis at the moment. Have a look at them as they charge down. The beautiful Geelong Waterfront in the background. Cunningham Pier looking absolutely stunning. Oh, Sting's done it again. They've had another big hook. So this boat catching him out a couple of times here. That's the second time it's done it to him today, this weekend I should say. So the Sting, they're running that boat a little bit wide. Maybe they're a bit gun shy of hooking it up. So DLR comes through TCR. TCR just ducking across the wash there at Global Racing. Global Racing is throwing a little bit of interest into this outboard race as these boys trying to get past them. The TCR the inside. They're having a good battle there, but we're looking at the MSC Signs dog leg at the moment, and it is Mantis with around about 10 boat lengths, or 5 boat lengths I'll say, from here on the Sting. So a real ding-dong going on here. Sting runs up the inside, turns it in nice and hard, and actually makes up a bit of ground, and they exit the MSC Signs dog leg almost side by side, but the Mantis with the momentum around the outside. So race positions at the moment in Supercat Extreme. We've got Boost Mobile 222. We've got Acme Racing into second place. We've got Global Racing running in third, but in actual fact they are fifth on the track. Boost Mobile rates outright leader and Supercat Extreme leader. 2023 World Champions Darren Nicholson, Peter Muddy McGrath. The Acme Racing now. Tom Barry Cotter and Andrew Searle. The Red Rocket, charging hard. This boat's still well and truly in its developmental stages. The boys doing a good job. This battle continuing on. A couple of battles going on in the Supercat outboard categories. We've got a battle going on between TCR and DLR. So Scotty Richardson and Stephen Kelly trying to hold out Craig Dove and Steve Lancaster. Having a look now at this battle going on between Mantis and the Sting as they come down the front chute here. The Hornet Property Services. Now watch this, the Sting are running wide. I think they're a little bit gun shy of hooking that boat at the moment. They run wide, they maintain momentum, they lose a bit of ground, but then with that momentum they slingshot themselves up alongside Mantis again. Very interesting tactics going on here at the moment between these two boats, but there's absolutely nothing in this. Fantastic racing here at round number 3 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships. Up into the top turn we go, and the Mantis makes some good ground there. Watching the other battle that's going on in this Supercat outboard category is TCR and DLR. So TCR have now poked their nose up into third place. This is a real battle between these guys. Back chute now, Global Racing, Isherwood and Gilbert. The big orange machine, I told him it looks like a turn buoy. Looks fantastic on the water, the beautiful MTI. And these boys still just getting a feel for this boat. Nicholson and McGrath now. Another lap kicked off. Boost Mobile, 222. Peter Murray McGrath, the legend of offshore powerboat racing. The Red Rocket now, Team Red, Acme Racing, Andrew Searle, Tom Barry Cotter, 441, getting it done beautifully, down the boat, kept run straight away. So these guys starting to put a lap now on Global Racing, which was probably inevitable. Been running for 7 minutes 45 seconds. As a boost goes past Global and up into the MSC Signs dog leg. Battle continues in this Supercat outboard category. Have a look at these boats just dancing from sponson to sponson. Mantis on the inside with a little bit of a break now. Anthony DeFina and Matthew Kelly. A little bit of a rumour about a new boat coming for this team as well. I'll tell you what, whoever buys this one's going to get a good boat, aren't they? Leading the championship at the moment. Sting just not quite the pace to go with them. In fact, Mantis really starting to make a little bit of a break now. But plenty of race time left. Still 21 minutes and 20 seconds left to run in this event. So TCR with a good break now on DLR. They're really starting to dominate here up into that third spot. This boat's look good. Stevie Kelly, Scotty Richardson. Sponsored by as simple as that, Catering Services. And a DLR, Dove Lancaster Offshore. Craig Dove, Steve Lancaster. Doing a great job in the old tin boat. The tin can, they call it. The Acme Racing Machine doing a beautiful job. Bush Mobile pushing on. Current 2023 World Champions. Now Acme Racing tipping it in hard. Searle and Barry Cotter. Absolutely on a hard charge. This boat getting stronger every time we see it. Keep an eye out for it at the next round in Adelaide. Next round is at North Haven in South Australia on the 12th and 13th of April. Should be absolutely spectacular. Really looking forward to that one. As the wind comes through, it's like it's going to snow here in Geelong at the moment. Why'd I put the shorts on? I don't know. It was hot yesterday. You know what they say about Melbourne, if you don't like the weather, give it 5 minutes. Sting now pushing on. Still trying to make this ground up on the Mantis. And as we watch the onboard shots here doing 163, 164 kilometres an hour. So just over that 100 mile an hour mark. Mantis holding him up though. Matty Kelly, Andy DeFina, Sting still pushing on. Global Racing just heading up into the MSC Signs dogleg at the moment. Boat looks beautiful on the water. It's a little bit different to the other two Supercat Extreme boats in that it runs the Mercury number 6 outdrives. Have a look at TCR coming down this Horner Property Services back straight away. They've got that boat trimmed up like a little ski race boat at the moment. Dancing from sponsor to sponsor. I want to be careful I don't blow the thing over backwards. Steve Kelly and Scotty Richardson having a real go there. Nicholson and McGrath. Then it's DLR. Still 18 minutes left to run in this particular event. Plenty of time for all these teams to get something done. Barry Cotter. Turn into the Motec front straight away. Boost Mobile now just about to encroach up onto TCR. You see the wash and the spray of TCR just on their starboard side. And up into the MSC Signs dogleg, that's where they're going to get the job done on the TCR. TCR will turn it in nice and tight. The outboard boat very nimble up through that turn, but Boost will just power around them. Those big 850 horsepower Johnny Barbagallo race engines sounding absolutely crisp as it fires up the back chute. Global Racing coming down the Hornet Property Services straight now. And Mark Gilbert and Simon Isherwood getting that done nicely. Beautifully turned out boat. Credit to the crew. And And then the battle continues, Mantis and Sting. Sting running the wide line. There you can see they're running on the outside of Global. They probably don't really want to be out there, but they probably don't want to drop inside either, so it'll be interesting to see what decision they make here. Coming into that corner at around about 165 kilometres an hour. We pick up the Boost Mobile 222 Racing entry. Just come down the Hornet Property Services back chute. Into the TCR doing a beautiful job. They put a big gap between themselves and DLR, but they've got a long way to try and catch the two lead boats in that category as Acme goes and takes off another lap. Tom Barry, Connor Andrews, Searle, Craig Dove and Steve Lancaster bring the tin boat down through into the Motec front straight away. So a race recap as we go through. At the moment, race outright leader is Boost Mobile. Back to Acme Racing, the Mantis, the Sting, TCR, DLR and Global Racing. So up through the back of the course, and this is the battle for the championship at the moment. Mantis has a slight lead, but if Sting can get over the top of him in this one, that will negate the lead and they'll be back equal on points. So it's a very important race for Carl Wall and Mickey Ratcliffe. Tipping in now, Mantis into the Motec front straight away, and this will give you an idea of the gap here. You'll see the Sting running through round about 10 boat lengths back. And there's the gap there. So yeah, around about 10 boat lengths at the moment, which is going to be a tough call for the team of the Sting. They're going to have to come up with something special here. So just putting a lap on Global Racing is the Boost Mobile 222. Those 525 horsepower Mercruiser race engines, seen it run. Doing a great job. They did have a couple of little issues I was telling you about yesterday. Certainly didn't look like it the way the boat was running. So, Dove Lancaster Racing, Dove Lancaster Offshore. Boat number 81 goes through the tin can with a pair of 300 3.2 litre strokers hanging from the transom. That's Boost Mobile heading up through the top turn. Still our race outright leader. Back to Acme Racing, the Mantis, the Sting, TCR, DLR and Global Racing rounding out the field. So the battle continues here. Mantis and Sting. This is what it was always going to be all about, and is what it is all about. 12 minutes left to run in this race. And the Oz 1 machine, the Mantis, Andy DeFina and Matthew Kelly. The Sting, Carl Wall and Mickey Ratcliffe. Boost Mobile is just a picture of perfection at the moment. And have a look at those crosswashes as they run through. You've got to be careful not to drop the nose of the boat into those crosswashes. you'll end up dropping the nose into the boat and turning the boat around, so you need to be really careful on that. The Acme Racing firing down the Hornet Property Services Brack straightaway. Sounding absolutely beautiful, those Andrew Searle race engines. Have a certain note to them, and they are absolutely screaming, make no mistake about that. A lot more development to come for that boat too. Global Racing, this boat's another one that is really in very early stages of its development. TCR, still Steve Kelly wringing the neck of that boat, still with plenty of trim into it. Pushing along beautifully. So 10 minutes left to run in this event, so with 2/3 race distance. And DLR, look at that, pushing along very hard. The boat looks lively on the water, so there's a little bit of meat in the water there, a little bit of consistency or inconsistency. And Craig Dove and Steve Lancaster doing a beautiful job. I tell you what, folks, have a look at this battle. This is unbelievable. The Sting has made some ground here by the looks of things on the Mantis. Unbelievable stuff. These two pushing for all their worth. The Mantis currently leading the championships, but only by one race. If the Sting can get over the top of them here, the Sting run into their watch. I think they had a little bit of a hook there again. They're being a little bit gun shy, this boat, in these port turns. Bruce 222, they come through, tick off another lap, but the real battle's going on with the Mantis. We can get our camera guys to get onto this battle between the Sting and the Mantis, because the Sting have just gone up the inside. Well, they had to look up the inside, now they've dropped back to the outside. So they're heading up this short dog leg straight for MSC Signs. Searle and Barry Cotter here. This boat looking a little bit more nosy than it did yesterday, just dropping its nose in a little bit. Which is one of the issues that Tom Barry Cotter was mentioning to me that they've got with the boat. And it's due for some major modification between this round and our next round on the 12th and 13th of April in South Australia. TCR back straight away now. My old sparring partner, Stevie Kelly. Plenty of trim into that boat. Him and I both started in 18 SO Haynes's. He's come a long way from that boat. Driving this beautiful Doug Wright design. And Scotty Richardson, I reckon he'd be having a ball out there. He'd be having a smile from ear to ear. As the TCR getting it done. We go on board now for Hornet Property Services. The Sting looking out the back of that boat and trying to pick up where the Mantis is. Can't quite pick him up for you at the moment, but we will. Global Racing coming through. Another lap for those guys. Sounds like we've had someone might have had the Sting's missing on the quarter. Sting has got Boots Mobile goes through. They go on their merry way. They're leading this event at the moment. DLR going up into the dog leg, but I'm not sure what's happened here, but the boys from the Mantis, they continue on. This is good for their crew out of the boat. And looks like they're both okay as TCR go past them. That boat looks dead in the water, so that is disappointing. I think they may have had some sort of mechanical failure in that boat. They're in, they're on the exit of a turn. They're fair way out from the exit of the turn, so I don't think it was a corner issue. But unfortunately, I didn't pick it up, and I don't think we picked it up on camera either. But The good news is both of them are okay, but devastating news for these guys. Let's hope they can get the boat turned around and back out to race in race number 2 today. So rescue boat heading out to the Sting now as the race continues on. We watch Global Racing coming past beautiful Cunningham Pier down the Hornet Property Services back straightaway. Plenty of spectators on the pier there as well. Big shout out to all our safety crews on the water too. We've got plenty of boats out on the water. We've got our divers, our paramedics, Davey Bodner and his team at Race Day Medical. Always there supporting as they did yesterday when we had that little incident with Bernico Racing. Lap number 2 there on Global Racing up the inside. Mantis, the heat has come out of that battle, and those boys will be happy to just get that boat around to the end with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to run in this event. They just put a lap on DLR in actual fact, Acme Racing, so we're all starting to bunch up down the Motec Racing Railway. Boost Mobile 222 Racing heading up into the MSC Signs dogleg. And just hearing from the officials, so Mike Ratcliffe and Carl Wall are perfectly fine. It looks like maybe some sort of mechanical issue with that boat. They're going to be towed into the centre of the course, so they are not under their own power, which is a bit of a worry for getting back out on the water for race number 2. But let's hope the crew can get it sorted. They'll be in contact with their crew. They'll be letting them know what the issue is, and hopefully if they've got parts that they need, they can get that boat sorted. So let's have a little recap on where we are at the moment. Leading outright is the Boost Mobile 222 Racing, back to Acme Racing. Then it's the Mantis third outright. The Sting are running, well, they've dropped out, still on my list at the moment. So it'll be TCR Racing, DLR Offshore and Global Racing rounding out the field at the moment. As we watch the Boost Mobile 222. And with 2 minutes 30 left to run, this will go very close to being their last lap, I would suggest. Darren Nicholson, Peter McIntyre, three world champions, pushing along. And potentially on their last lap. Acme Racing just coming down the outside of Mantis now. Mantis won't want to get involved in any silliness with the boat out of not in their own class. They'll just run on the fins. Acme just around the outside of them. Mantis now leaders, the Oz 1. Boost Mobile. DLR come through, tick off another lap, so that's elevated them up into third place. So Craig Rwanda Dove and Stevie Lancaster, they're just running around with consistency and collecting points in this championship at the moment. Doing a beautiful job. TCR was actually behind them going into this in the championship, but TCR with the potentially finishing in front. May see them move up the order. There's TCR as we pick them up now. Absolutely flying this boat. They're running a lot of trim into it, just trying to get as much air under that boat as they possibly can. Maximum attack. Okay, it's going to get very tight here for a finish. So we got Boost Mobile at 24 seconds left to run in this race. So it's going to be very tight as to whether the checkered flag will come out or not for Boost 222. TCR will come through. They'll definitely be setting off on another lap. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a 30 minutes up, but Boost Mobile missing out by about 8 seconds there to get it done on that lap. They'll have to go and do another one. Last lap now for Boost Mobile. Absolutely on the limit is Acme Racing. Motec front straightaway for Hornet Property Services. Heading up through the top turn, Boost Mobile 222 just going around the outside of TCR there, up into the MSC Signs dogleg, and the Mantis. There'll be a couple of smiling faces in the cockpit of that boat. They were under the pump all race from the team of the Sting, but unfortunately Sting team faltering and leaving them to cruise around, and I don't want to put the commentator's curse on them, but hopefully pick up a victory for Team Mantis Racing. Just watching the Motec front straight away here, and it's Global Racing coming into the Motec front straight, as to the DLR. So the Global boat, just really a test session for them today, a brand new rebuild on that boat. It's been off the water for many, many years, and it's fantastic to have it back competing in the championship. And here she comes, the 2023 World Champions, the 222 Boost Mobile Racing Team. Peter Mariuga and Darren Nicholson slam through a solid win. Down through the bottom turn, this is going to be a very, very solid second place for Team Colonel Racing, TCR, Scotty Richardson and Stephen Kelly. So more valuable points into the bag for the TCR team. They needed them. Acme Racing second place. Tom Barry Cotter and Andrews Searle. And these boys will add smiles from ear to ear. Down the Hornet Property Services back chute into the Motec fuel injection front straight away. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Mantis Racing. Andy DeFina and Matthew Kelly. Too consistent. And down the back straight away now for Hornet Property Services, DLR, Craig Dove and Stevie Lancaster. This has been a good run for these guys. The boat looks really, really good on the water. It's the oldest boat in the fleet with the least horsepower. But I tell you what, they've done a spectacular job. They've kept it tidy, they've kept it clean, are even in front of TCR for a fair way in this race, but they've come through and picked up third place. DLR, Dub Lancaster Racing, and rounding out the field, the final boat home will be Global Racing, Simon Isherwood and Mark Gilbert. Well, that's the final boat home, folks, so stick around, get yourselves organised. I'm going to go and put some warmer clothes on. I think it's getting a bit chilly here in beautiful G-Town, so we'll take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with more racing in approximately 20 minutes. So we've got our Super Sports boats heading out in around about 20 minutes, or about 19 minutes. We'll be back real soon. Hope you're enjoying the racing here, round number 3 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships for Hornet Property Services. Scotty Richardson, mate, the TCR looked absolutely fantastic yesterday.
It went really well. We're really pleased with it. We had a overheat problem on the starboard turn of the back part of the course, so every time we did a lap, we overheat. We had to turn the motor off, get out of Guardian. So we would have done a lot better. We lost a lot of pace on that back straight. So other than that, very happy we've rectified the problem, or hopefully today. So we'll have a real crack.
Yeah, it looked like Steve was very aggressive on the trim yesterday. The boat was sitting up beautifully, and it was really cracking along. And it must have felt good too, I feel like.
Oh, look, the smooth weather water is a bit tricky when you get the wash from the bigger boats. You can hook very easily. So we were trying to keep wide and keep the speed up. So today we mightn't have to do so much for that. But other than that, we're very happy with the way the boat performed.
Mate, boat looked really good. Obviously, championship-wise, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball at the moment. You've got a little bit of work to do, but what's the plans for that?
Well, obviously, we can't really do much with the championship, but we're here to compete and we're here to have a crack, so that's the main thing. We're going to keep the other boys honest.
Well, you're doing that yesterday, mate, so boat looked terrific. I hope you have another great 2 races. Oh, no, you 2 races today.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows what will happen. So we'll just hang in there and see what happens.
Good on you, mate. Good luck, Scotty.
Thanks, mate.